Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 7 tank destroyer, the Sturmpanzer. Now the Sturmpanzer is the Tier 7 in the Sturmtiger line, and it's probably one of the most fun tanks in the line. It's not the most memey, because the most memey is the Tier 10, but this tank is just so filthy when it works. The gun handling can leave a lot to be desired at times because the shell velocity is very low, naturally being a very big derp gun. But, like, you hit so hard with this gun that you just absolutely love life. And generally, when things get hit by this gun, they really don't love life. They sit there going, why, God, why? You know, that sort of thing. Because, yeah, this tank has 740 alpha on its standard AP round with 203 pen. That is really, really good. And 203 pen at tier 7, sorry. It's just because I saw the tier 9 on the T55A there. Yeah, the pen at tier 7 for 203 for such a big caliber gun, you know, a 21cm cannon, is really solid. Your pen, pretty much all tier 7s. A lot of tier 8s, and tier 9s, you'll need a lot more of the sides and stuff like that to be able to pen with 203. But you can overmatch a lot of plates with a 210mm gun as well, so you do have that in your locker with AP. But if you can't pen them, you can just splash them with HE, because you've got this HE round, which has 90 pen, by the way, which is really good. That has 950 alpha. That means that when you're splashing people, you're still splashing them for like 400-500 damage at times. And you've got a fairly large splash radius as well, which really, really helps to be able to give you bigger damage when you splash. And yeah, that it can lead to some very memey times. And I just really enjoy this tank. I find it really fun to play. Absolute meme. Like I say, sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. It's a derp gun, you can't expect it to work all the time. And to be honest, if you're playing it, you've got to expect it to fail a lot of the time, because it is a derp gun, and derp guns just be like that. But when, like I say, if you maneuver yourself into good positions, you can just make the most of it. And obviously this tank does have decent-ish camo for such a sort of large tank destroyer, because it's the Jagdpanther 2, but it's got pretty decent camo. It's got pretty good mobility as well, with the top speed of the tank being 45 kilometers an hour, and you do hit that top speed as well, which is nice. And the gun depression is like 6 degrees, which you can use in a lot of situations, as opposed to a fair few of these tanks in this line where they are a lot lower. They're like 3 or 4 degrees, or even worse than that if you're talking about the Bayer, which is like 0. You know, it's a very, very usable tank destroyer, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. A lot of people probably will end up playing the tier 7, play a bit of the tier 8 and go, you know what, I'm just going to stick with the tier 7. Because it's just an absolute meme. But enough about the tank. What do I run in terms of a crew on the Sturmpanzer? I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Trap Mechanic, Clutch Braking, Off-Road Driving, Camouflage Expertise. Camouflage Expertise just to make the camo a little bit better, because it is a TD, and I can basically make it so that I can stay unspotted just that little bit longer, which is always a very nice thing. Steady Aim to make it so that the gun is just that 10% better, which is always great. Clutch Braking to make it turn on a sixpence quicker. Off-Road Driving to help me hit that top speed. And the Trap Mechanic to make sure I can put the tracks back on when I need them. Because, again, turretless tank destroyer, if something tracks you, it's not going to go very well for you very often. And in terms of equipment, the Advanced Loader, which is the gun rammer, the Ammo Swapper, which I think is Advanced Reload, and Advanced Optics, so that you can spot for yourself, because you always want to be able to spot for yourself. You only have 340 meters view range in this tank, which is very low, and you want to be able to at least see tanks for yourself, because there's going to be a lot of tanks that will outspot you by a country mile, and you cannot rely on your team generally to spot for you either, so you need to be able to see for yourself. And in terms of the rammer and the Advanced Reload, naturally, making you reload 10% better, always nice to have. And the Ammo Swapper, because both rounds are really good, and it completely depends on the situation for which one you want to have loaded. And that's that. So in this first game, we're on Sand River, which is one of my favourite maps, and we're on to 2.2k damage or 2.4k assistance, and we're hunting down that last tank that is on the enemy team. Here he is, SU-122-54. We knew we could pen the side of that thing with 90 pen and 817 with a HE round into the side of that tier 9 TD, which is really nice. Finished off that game with 3,100 damage nearly, 3 kills, 2.7k, so that's what, 5.7k combined. Ace tanker, 1934 base XP, a really, really nice game for the Sturmpanzer, which can be an absolute laugh to play. And you can just, yeah, you can just have so much fun with it, because it's got the power of Derp, and there'll be situations where you're top tier, like in this game, where you can just meme so hard, and you can just delete things, and it's like the Dreadnought in a way, right? That, yeah, the Dreadnought will drive up to things and go blap, and just delete them, and it's really satisfying when you do delete people for full health. It's just one of those things in this game, right? Sometimes you just sit there cackling away like an evil being when you do delete someone. It's just the power of Derp. The power of Derp compels you. Derp is love. Derp is life, right? And we're on this second replay. And this second replay, we are on this map, which is Muravanka. And we're going towards where the heavy tanks normally go. We're going to try and get up on top of this ridge line at G3 so that we can try and get a sneaky shot across at stuff like this hammer over here. Because if we can start off with a big shell into that guy, it'd be nice, but unfortunately it ends up missing. There is a lot of houses and stuff in the way that means we can't quite hit certain shells on tanks like the C3, C4 area. It's one of those tanks, it's one of those positions that when people do get spotted crossing that sort of spot, you really have to have a gun that's firing quicker, essentially. So, or should I say with better shell velocity, there we go, and that came to my brain. Better shell velocity to be able to, like, get to the tank before it hits the building, etc. But we start off the game really nicely with that big shell into the Tiger. I was like, okay, I'm going to let the Dreadnought in good old Swindle destroy the Tiger, but unfortunately he bounced, you know, just skill issues. And so we delete it instead. Now we're coming in to help this IS. There's a T-150 here. I could actually pen that if I hit the lower plate with HE, but I decide, well, he gets blown up before I get there. We go for the shot on the EBR Hotchkiss, but unfortunately we just miss again, the shell velocity problems, not hitting that. And we're just now waiting for the reload. We're in a good spot here. We can delete this T1 heavy if he doesn't lose. I just want to one-shot this guy. We got the AP in, because that's all we need. Aim in the shell, and he didn't realise we were there. Yeetus deleticus, says the Sturmpanzer, and get out of my game, T1 Heavy. So that's the American Tier 5 heavy tank gone. Again, the reload's coming in. Swindle's just blapped this hammer, and it's like, well, hello, Mr. Hammer. I think you've made mistakes. And there goes the hammer, just like that. We're up to 2.3k damage. Fortunately enough, the artillery misses. Okay, I said that, and the other artillery hits us. Sad times. We repair our tracks so we can try and get away, because it is firing very, very quickly. This Hotchkiss is in my sights. I'm like, hello, Mr. Pesky Little Light Tank. I kind of want you, and I kind of want to get rid of you. But there is the IKV. We load the HE, realise that I only need the AP to delete him, and we get rid of that man too. Goodbye, Mr. Tier 7 Swedish Tank Destroyer. That guy's gone, again, on the reload, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I either want to get this light tank or the Tiger P, or I can pull up and try and shoot the guys at C1, which, if they give me the shot, I can, which, there's the IS. We absolutely... Oh, the RNG, when it's with you, we absolutely yeet the shell at him without really aiming. It flies in, sets him on fire, that IS, but he gets killed before he burns out. And we're up to 3.7k damage, just waiting for the ability to shoot this T-21, but unfortunately he is running straight into my team. We load the HE because all we have to do is splash the ground next to that T-21 basically to kill it, and we do shut it down. Nearly 4,000 damage now. There's 4 tanks left, 2 artillery, the TD in the back, and this VK3601H. I'm expecting this 3601H to blow up, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to ignore that guy, and we're going to look for this TD. There's the Stayer. We try and get the Stay of Waffenträger there with the HE, but unfortunately it doesn't go anywhere near. We do take the hit from him, though. It's something we've got to be very careful of, because naturally He's very stealthy, and he's got pretty decent reload, so he can probably poke up in the bushes in front of us and shoot us before we'll see him again. But we're just going to close the distance. As you can see, he fired at us there. Because we don't have very good view range, he fired at us there and did not get spotted. So since we know he was in the bushes directly in front of me, I'm just going to keep pushing. I'm going to change the angle a little bit so that I can try and spot him, essentially, and try and stay alive. We are currently detected. I was just hoping that I could potentially proxy him and therefore get assistance from my teammates, but it's not quite happening. The artillery is still trying to get shots at us. He's spotted there, and I think, you know what, screw it. This is the end of the game. I'm going to try and get over and just get a shell into him. Maybe he's looking at something else because there was the medium and heavy tank in front of him. But unfortunately for me, he ends up shutting us down. But we still finished with the victory. The 5 kills, nearly 4k damage, 1100 assistance, ace tanker, the high caliber, 2,104 base XP, a really nice game for the Sturmpanzer, the 1-2 for me and Swindle there, and yeah, just Derp is love, Derp is life, absolutely Derpalicious replays, and it's the Sturmpanzer, it's absolute memes, so much fun to play and well worth getting to, just at the tier 7. So as always everybody, thank you very much for watching, I'll see you next time.